Hey folks, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about eliminating self-doubt. And we had a bunch of questions that we're going to combine them all into one thing today. Does that make sense? So we have stuff from Alicia, Serena, and Evelyn. Evelyn, you wrote me the coolest email. I got to share that with the people. So I'm going to go over one of the people sent me a message, and I'm going to go to her website. So I'm not sure if she wants me to say her name. I don't know if I got to do the fake name thing again, but I wanted to share some insight on that because she provided her website. And let's just start with some of the questions that we have now. It seems to be the same theme, and it all relates around self-doubt. So for the most part. So let's go over what those questions are. Person's gonna, let me call her Carol. So Carol writes in and she says, to be honest, I don't even know where to begin in regards to my struggle. She says, I've been working as a freelance hairstylist for 10 years. And right now she's over that industry. Before the pandemic, she began traveling the world as a solo traveler and fell in head over heels with solo travelers, what she said. I understand that completely. So her ultimate goal is to become a digital nomad so she can travel freely for a year or two before deciding on which country to commit to. You know, I'm there with you. She's tried drop shipping, and it was right before the pandemic, so that didn't work out well. And so now she is thinking that she can go through her blog and start to create affiliate income there, which we're going to spend some time talking about that because we're going to look at your website. And to be honest, I went to your website. I only read one article, but it was actually really good. So if you are having self-doubt, literally you yourself is the only one that is giving that doubt, and you have potential there. So stop. And then we have, I think this is Serena. Serena was telling me that she is interested in working on her YouTube channel, but she often feels like she's holding herself back or she's scared. And then she ends up procrastinating, binge watching something, that type of thing. Been there, got it. So let's talk about that. And then I'm gonna come back to Ellen. Wait, I think Alicia gave me something too. Yeah. Alicia is saying she's a veterinarian. So we're going to talk about all of these and how it relates to self-doubt and which each of these individuals can do. I'm going to do the veterinarian last. I'm going to try because there's so many opportunities there that you may be taking for granted just based on a couple things. So here's the thing. If you've worked for corporate, whether it be America or insert country, they don't reward uniqueness. Okay. They don't really want you to be unique. They kind of want you to conform with the culture of the corporation, right? If everyone conforms in that way, the corporation can stay on their mission and move forward. So here's the thing about when you're developing your own brand and doing things online, what I want people to consider is that the only thing that makes you different is you. And so your individuality can be celebrated, and you can just concentrate on working with other people in similar minds that are like you. So hopefully that'll relieve some of the self-doubt. The second thing is, if you're doing a whole bunch of things that you have never done before, no one, your friends, your family, anyone is expecting you to be perfect at it. That's not a thing. That is something you yourself gave yourself this doubt. Okay. So as we talked again, I don't remember which one it was, where we want to normalize the progression. We want to normalize fear. You're not going to escape it. Fear, you're not going to escape. And I don't even want to go down that road to tell you to not be scared. It's okay. Be scared. I still want you to commit action, even though you may have the fear. Okay. So in the case of, right, I'm not saying her name right. We're going to go to her website. And if she's in the audience, hey there, Sandra. Sandra, you and Grace need to meet. That's just the energy I'm feeling. Let me bring her website up. So She said she's been in the wedding freelance hairstyle for the wedding industry, and she doesn't want to do that anymore. She started solo traveling a couple years back, and she fell in love with it. So I am looking at, I only read this article, and her website is freespirit.life. Okay. Only read this article here, which is avoid this ATM scam. I didn't read the other articles, but let me tell you, just from that, the article is really good. And it's super important because I don't think a lot of people, when they travel internationally, hey there, Stephanie, a lot of people, when they travel internationally and they're not used to it, they don't understand the scams that a lot of the ATMs will put when you're pulling money out, right? So your article was completely needed. I thought you did a thorough job in explaining the various aspects of it. You wrote this in 2020. So for those of you, I promise we're going to talk about self-doubt, but we're on her website. So I just want to get some give a couple tips because we're here. When you are blogging, guys, if you're using blogging to create additional income, there's certain adjustments you're going to want to make. And the first one is, let me look at the domain. Okay, you did that. So that is saying the title of the, okay, perfect. So see here where it says the name and the date. I want you to remove this part. And the reason why I want you to remove that is because immediately on your blog, if you have your date, if you're the only writer on your blog, then you don't necessarily need to put your name. But the reason why I want you to get rid of the date is because you want your blog to look evergreen. You don't want someone to feel like as soon as they came onto your blog that the information that you're about to give is going to be dated. Now, the information that you have across the board, it works regardless of when someone jumps on here, but you don't want them to see that date and be like, oh, this must be old. Let me get off. So guys, if you have a blog, it's just a format. It's particularly if you're doing this on WordPress, it's just a format just to take the date off. But you have good content on here. The thing is, what I'm looking at is you're just not consistent. So you just need to produce more articles. You did a perfect job. You put images. You gave a long explanation. You might want to put comments. You don't have to because I typically don't. But you have a lot of good stuff on here. So there's just one main thing that I see when I come here. And because this is in a blog format, I'm like, well, who is this person writing it? Like, you don't have anything on you. And basically what a blog is a diary for a personal or for a corporation of a variety of different information. So if someone comes to your site, they're going to immediately want to know, like, who is this person and why should I listen to them? And why are they traveling? I want to hear your story. But you ain't putting none of that there, honey. And so if this is what you want to do, I know from the questions that I've been getting, people feel like there's a lot of avenues that they're interested in and they're not quite sure what to focus their attention on. And I get it. I'm going to recommend that you focus on the thing that you enjoy the most, because in this process of building, full disclosure, it does not happen overnight. It takes a minute for algorithms and everything to understand that you exist. It takes consistency. It takes work. For those of you, if you haven't met me before, what you're seeing is a result of about a year's worth of work. Now, granted, the channel is profitable now based on a variety of different income streams, but that wasn't what it was initially. Okay. So I just want people to understand that it will take a little bit of work. And because it takes work, or because someone it feels like no one's listening initially, I don't want the self-doubt to increase. I want you to proceed forward. And if you're doing something you really like, it's easier for you to proceed forward in the event that the audience didn't show up yet. Okay. So the audience takes time to build, but if you continue giving good information and solid information in the industry in which you are educated on, the audience is going to come. It's no way for it not to. You just need to market yourself. Marketing is all about numbers. More people know about you. So for your self-doubt, if you're not initiating action because of that, like I can, like, my life is so much more different now than it was when I kept just not moving. I told you guys, when I lost everything, I was in the bed. It felt like 3 months to 3 years. I don't know how long I was in there, but I couldn't get my life together. So if you feel like you just don't have the energy, then that's fine. And I want you to be gentle with yourself and allow yourself to feel better. Okay. But once you feel better, understand that the doubt that you have in you, you're the only one who is saying that. None of your friends are saying you can't do it. If your friends are saying that, you need a whole new group. But no one is pushing on you the expectation of perfection on something new. No one is doing that. You are doing that. And if for some reason you feel like you're not worthy, I'm going to tell you this. You experience everything that is happening to your life for a reason. And if you get caught up, which is easy, especially in America, you get caught in the day-to-day hustle. You keep seeing all these experiences that happen to you as negative, and they feel negative. Okay. When I lost everything, that felt majorly negative. Okay. But I didn't know that how that experience, was going to cleanse me from horrible people, how it's going to force me to kind of jump up and reinvent myself and figure out a new type of career, how just all these things happen. And granted, while it was going on, it didn't feel good, but now I can look back in hindsight, it's always 2020, and say my life is at a wonderful place right now. And so if I would have let fear stop me, again, as I told you guys before, I always am fearful every time I do something. Okay. The only difference is I keep doing it. And that's really all I want for you to know. Like, again, if you're coming from corporate America, they don't reward individuality. And here you can have a platform of online community that you are educating, you are helping, whatever it is you want to do. And you don't even need that many people, because what we're doing here is we're doing direct to consumer. Okay. You find a consumer, they want what you have, they purchase it, you get paid. That's it. So the the barrier to entry is not that difficult. You have to take your mindset. And the reason why this stuck with me so hard is, I forgot her name. She sent me this beautiful email, and she was saying, when I tell you guys to get super, super granular and super specific, if you're marketing online, she was saying with her corporate mindset, everything goes major, like general. The whole goal is to get as many people as possible, be as general as possible. But I'm asking you to come out of the corporate mindset a bit. And I wouldn't even made that connection if she wouldn't have said it. But I want you to come out of the corporate mindset a bit and go more on the individualized route. And from there, you do have to share yourself with your community. You do have to tell your story, because ideally, this is what helps the right people find you. Like, not everybody is going to like me. I'm cool with that, nor do I care. I want to help people who want to work with me and that I want to work with. We all have the same good energy, and you're going to want that in your business too. But the way to do that is you have to execute, and the self-doubt, you still got to have action. It's going to feel funky. Everything that you've done, that you were new to, it felt funky and weird and scary, but you still do it. I want you to be gentle with yourself and know that the ways that you may be talking to yourself are not even ways that you would even talk to your friend. Like, you would be so much nicer to your friend than the way that you talk to yourself. And I was reading something, because y'all know I keep talking about I gained weight over COVID, and my weight only go to like 2 or 3 places. So everybody's like, "Oh, you look great." And I see anyway. So I saw this woman who was saying, when we try to lose weight, it's not like we don't mentally know we should work out and that we should eat right. We're educated. We know that it has something to do with our self-esteem, that we have to tap into that part to make us more consistent in the other areas. And that just blew my mind. I saw this like a month ago, and I was like, oh my God, because I would say such mean things to myself. So when we talk about this, eliminating self-doubt, first you have to understand that the only one who is giving your self-doubt is you. You're the one who's saying that you can't do it. But if you're just saying you just have to be you and do what you do well, there is no doubt. You already know how to do it. You're the only person on this earth who knows how to be you. So if you have to do something in your own way, in your own unique way, you are going to excel. Like, if you just need tools and stuff to pull it off, that part I can help you with. It's easy. And we can Google, we can do all that stuff. But you just need to understand that your personal story, your personal energy is supposed to meet with like-minded. I know I sound on some hippie stuff, and I try not to sound like that. It's supposed to meet with like-minded energy and people. And I'm only saying that because now at 42 years old, I'm feeling that now. And I haven't felt that way. I don't want to say ever, but I think ever is the word. Did I answer everything that I want to say with free life spirit? So again, going back to your website real quick, there's a couple critiques and a couple things that you can do, but I do encourage you to continue to write. If this is a space that you like, because your content is good, don't feel like you're not going the right direction just because your audience is slow. Every person's audience started with one initially, okay? The thing is, you still have to be consistent so that all the search engines and things will know about it. So put your story there, let people know who you are and your story, and continue to push out this content. I also would recommend you get on YouTube, but if you don't want to show your face, that's cool, fine, I get it. But you're doing a good job, so stop. Not stop what you're doing, like stop with the self-doubt. Okay, let me make sure we're talking about Serena. We have holding yourself back. Serena, on your question, I'm just going to ask you again to be gentle with yourself, because I've been there. Like I remember, let me tell you this quick story. I promise I'm going to be quick. What time is it? Okay. So when I had to start all over, I tried to take a contract so I could just, make some money. And I worked for like a government agency for like 3 or 6 months because no one would hire me. No one would hire me because at the time I had been self-employed for a decade. And I went on countless interviews and people didn't want to hire me because they said that I had been self-employed. Like all the hiring agencies said this. You've been self-employed for 10 years. How do we know if you're not going to leave? And I'm thinking, well, how the hell do you know if anyone's going to leave? Like, that was my thought. And then I was thinking, I thought that because I was an entrepreneur for that time, that people would say, oh, she may think outside the box or be, creative. Corporations don't want that. in true essence, they don't want think outside the box. They don't want creativity. As much as they say they support that type of thought process, they don't, and it's cool. Anyway, so I remember working for one of the government agencies for like 3 to 6 months. And every time I got off work, I was so brain dead, not because the work was hard, but because A, I hated what I was doing. And B, it just felt bad in my spirit. Like, it just felt bad in my spirit. And then I was still dealing with, all the other emotional stuff with that. And I would literally go and just veg out and watch whatever would come up on the TV for like hours from 6 to whatever, because I just didn't have the mental capacity to just deal. I say all that, Serena, to say, you do it when it feels good. If you got to take care of yourself and do whatever, but do not beat yourself up because you feel like you should be doing all these things and you're not moving. That's not what I want you. That's not what I want you to want for you. What I want for you is that when you feel good, just think about what you enjoy doing and write a list. And I can help you with that. We're not going to do live every damn day, y'all. We're not doing that no more, but we'll go live another time and we can work this out to figure out what activities you can best go into that meet your own personal like energy and goals and fulfillment. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big thing. Guys, if you're joining me, go ahead and put your questions in the chat box and I'll answer that. And we don't have too many people join us live. So just put your questions there and I'll answer them in the Q&A. And then we have Alicia. Alicia is a veterinarian, and she wants to move abroad and do various streams of income. So what you didn't tell me, Alicia, and I hope I'm saying your name correctly, is if you are cool with staying in that space. Like, there is a doctor. Hold on, let me get this bigger. There is a doctor on YouTube that literally he was a doctor and he would go on YouTube and start talking about various aspects of medicine and making patients more informed. He started getting paid more from YouTube than he was getting paid for being a doctor. And I'm gonna try to search him because I can't remember his name, but I just want to show you this really quickly. Hold on, let me get the software. Okay. So let's go to YouTube real quick. And I'm just going to put Dr. YouTuber. Maybe that'll come up. I want to spell it correctly. Hold on. Okay. I think this is him. How much money I earn in a week as a doctor and a YouTuber. This is the guy I'm talking about. Is everyone seeing this? So this guy, and not just him, there are a bunch of, here, look, Dr. Mike, 7.27 million, 1.9 million. There's a whole bunch of doctors that are on YouTube. And why did I bring that up? I brought that up because anyone who's in the professional services industry, and we talked about this in earlier videos, you have a great deal of information that you just need to digitize and give it to this online audience that exists. Now, you can go super, super specific, Alicia, and if you still want to stay in the space of, medicine and animals, listen, people are serious about their dogs, right? So if there's I know that with certain breeds, there are certain illnesses that a dog may be susceptible to. So you can literally create a YouTube channel if you want and base it off of certain breeds of dogs and educate various dog owners on a whole bunch of things, like what you've been seeing in your practice over the course of the years, the expertise. I know you got a ton of expertise and you can make all this digital and create, if you want to stay in that field, you can do it online and create various income guides. People are serious about their dogs. You have so much information. Everybody in the professional service field, you guys have went to school for like over 4 years to get the education that you have. Share it with people and share it with people online. Now, I know it's a change of space if you've been doing the corporate thing for a while. I get it. But there are people looking for your information. If I had a puppy and there was a veterinarian that was on YouTube and was telling me about what I need to do for my particular puppy, or how do I search, buy there's all these puppy meals. I'm pulling out puppy, but I don't know what kind of animals you work with. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like, you have the education to inform a large audience of people if you still like doing it. And we talked to Keith. He's an attorney and he wanted to be out the courtroom. So if that's your thing and you don't want to have to do anything with it anymore, I get it. We just got to find what you like and put it in that direction. But you got a lot of knowledge. Okay. Even if you didn't want to get on YouTube, if you wanted to write, create a website or blog specifically on the same issues, you could do that. You kill it. And it's not hugely competitive. The reason why I push you all into YouTube and opposed to a blog, both of them are good. YouTube, you can build your audience substantially quicker, in my opinion. So there's a lot of competition of websites that exist in the whole world, but there's a smaller level of competition of YouTube channels in YouTube. YouTube, again, is the second largest search engine, Google being the first one. So that's usually why I keep pushing you in that direction. All right. So can I just read to you Evelyn's email? Evelyn's email made me want to light candles and meditate. Just listen to this. Evelyn, I know you're not here with me live, but on the recording, I just need your energy. She said, "Good morning, Cinnamon." It could be time reading. "Thank you for reaching out. I'm an artist. I've always been. And although I spent my career in corporate, my true love is art. I fashion clay sculptures and jewelry mostly. My unique area is that I add blessings to everything I make that will transfer to the owner, like health, love, abundance, patience, joy, and gratefulness." I love that. I'm not sold on any platform yet. And I guess the main challenge is having enough product to offer it to the platform. She says, "Thank you again for your time and energy. I look forward to your next endeavor and will support no matter what it is. You're driven in the right direction." This is how she signs off, which I love. "Sent on earth via the stars." Evelyn, girl, you make me totally want to meditate and light candles and get my life together. So I appreciate you on that. I don't think you had a specific question, but the way you I was like, girl, like, if you want to do the sculptures and the clay and the jewelry, I think you should show your process. Show how your inspiration, when you talk about transferring these blessings, yes, like talk more about that or write more about that. Create the content, folks. Whatever the content is, create the content, because now your art and your jewelry, it has a story. And you want to work on developing that so that when you market to people, I don't think you should try to worry about mass producing as much as you share your story and your inspiration for the art that you're creating, because there are artists that don't mass produce. They produce one, famous artists that just produce one thing and they charge a ton of money for it. So I don't want you to feel the need. I know you talked about 3D processing pieces, but charge what your stuff is worth. But just give people the idea of who you are. Okay. So that's the energy I have for you. And I appreciate you and all of that good stuff. So Grace, if you're listening to this recording, you sent me an email telling me that you are not going to be able to join us live, and I understand it. Appreciate it. I got your email right as I was getting ready to go live. So we're going to spend tomorrow talking about transitioning from corporate to digital nomad. We spent a little bit of time on that today, but I want to take the time because it sounds like that is a pain point for some of you all who've been working for 20, 30 years, and now you want to go digital. And transitioning to digital nomad is a bit of a challenge. And I need more insight of where the challenge is. If you guys can email me if you're on my list to let me know so I know where to go with that. So I know yesterday we talked about the boot camp. I put it together last night, not the content, just the software to pull it off. And in the description box, there is the link to sign up for the boot camp. If you sign up for the boot camp, first off, I'm going live up until this Wednesday because I leave to go back to the States later that week. So I'm going to go live up until Wednesday. So if you have not sent me your questions, or you don't send your questions over here on the live, I'm pretty much going to shut down and stop. But if you do we're doing like a get started summer boot camp. And this is what I want you to do. For those of you who are signing up, can you do me a favor? And you're going to get a series of emails. When you sign up, can you go to the community and just introduce yourself? The whole goal of this is I'm going to provide content and education, but it's more important for me to have people be part of a community. So be sure to introduce yourself. Tell us what your goal is for this summer. I have a couple goals. I'm going to make it public with y'all so that I can actually do it and not commit. Because once I say I'm going to do something out into the cybersphere, I'm going to do it. But if I say it to myself quietly, I'm not going to do nothing. So we're going to get it done. We're going to do this 4 weeks together. And we're going to be live. For those of you who can't make it to the lives, because the times are just based on what I can do while I'm in the States. The recordings will be there. And then we get to probably do some breakup meetings for people who are in different time zones, because I know we're all international over here. So, all right, let's get to some questions. Again, we're going to go live again tomorrow up until Wednesday. So if you're seeing this in a live and you haven't emailed me your questions, or you can't make it to a live, let me know. Now, once I go to the East Coast, it's easier for me to kind of come at a later time for you guys. I know this time is a bit awkward, especially during the workday, but we're 5 hours ahead in Portugal. So if I did it at 7, that's like what's late. I'm asleep. So we can't do it at that time. So this is kind of the time I have to do it. So my apologies on that. But when I come to the East Coast, we're doing it in the evening. So hopefully that'll help. All right, so throw your questions in. Did I handle everything? Let me look at my notes to make sure I talked about everything, because, I'll go on a tangent. Corporate America, eliminating fear. Your experience is unique. Yes. Okay. All right. I think we did that. Hey, Serena. Hey, love. Okay. So true. Let's see. Okay. Let me get rid of this. So true. Uniqueness or your own perspective is definitely punishment in corporate America. It absolutely is. I'm using that perspective in a creative outlet. Yes, I love that. Good morning, Don. How are you? Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. Hey, Stephanie. This random fly that's been in here all morning. Good morning. Good morning, PJ. Okay, where are your questions at? I need to remove the dates. Yes, remove the dates off your blog. That can make your content look evergreen. Okay, good afternoon. Hey, James. Okay, we got a question here. How do you keep going when you don't have a growing audience, but still feel like you are on the right track? If you feel like you are on the right track, honey, keep going. That's how you do it. You just keep going. Especially if you feel like you're on the right track, because a lot of people, they just don't feel like they're on the right track, so they stop. But if you if you know you're on the right track, keep going. Now, if your audience isn't growing, and type in the comments how long you've been working at it. If your audience isn't growing, it could be the way you're titling your information, the way you're writing the content based on the audience. So again, when you know that you're trying to build an audience, you want to think of the type of audience that you want. So for me, I want to build it for ambitious people that is somewhat like me and just need to know the tools. So I'm going to be, as much people say that I'm rude and I'm condescending, and I'll eat that. That's fine. But did you learn something? Yeah. So okay. What it does help me do, it helps me push out people that may be sensitive. If someone's super sensitive, I'm so not the person that they should work with at all. So I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be transparent, and we're going to get it done. But if someone needs to be coddled, they shouldn't work with me. So I make that relatively apparent in my messaging and the way that I put myself out there. I'm suggesting you do the same. So if you want a particular audience, because that's the great thing about the internet, guys, you can work with people that you want to work with. You're not stuck of just working with people that you don't mesh well with, like you may have to do in corporate America. You are designing the way that you want to do this so you can work with the people that you want to work with. So keep going, hun. If you tell me the industry in the comments, I'll have some follow-up questions for you. But your audience, and I don't know how long you've been doing this. I want to know how long you've been doing this as well, because I'm going to put things in perspective for you guys. This brand that you are currently watching, at the date of this publishing, you're seeing about a year's worth of work. And if you're just meeting me, so I think the channel got profitable probably 6 months afterwards. So I'm saying that just to give you perspective of how long it may take for you to keep going. And if I told you that you could change your whole life by focusing on something you want to do and reaching people you want to work with, and you got to commit consistently a year, maybe 2, would you do it? If you say no, then this may not be the thing for you. But if you say, yeah, honey, keep at it. Don't you stop at all. Okay. You are so welcome, Serena. I subbed to Dear Mike. Is that the doctor's name, Sandra? Dear Mike, Dr. Mike? Yeah, that is Dr. Mike. He's good, right? Like, he taught me there's a bunch of doctors I follow on YouTube that I'm obsessed with. Okay, where are we? Sorry, you know the software works. Make us serious about moving abroad with your pet. Who? Who? Me? I won't, because I don't have a pet. But Miss Veterinarian, that I don't know if I said your real name or not. Absolutely. How to do that? You can. There's so many directions you can go with that. Or how? Yes. Listen. I would not personally make that content, but having that content out for people, how to travel with your. Run the gamuts. Everybody in here could tell you the content you could throw out there. So please go in there. Just hearing her vision statement, I would buy. Hello, Sandra. You were with me. I want some of her art and blessings. Yes, look, Evelyn. People want your art and blessings, honey. Okay. Let's see. Can you clarify the boot camp? Is it presented live but recorded for folks who can't make it? Yes. So for the boot camp, I am teaching live every Tuesday for the next 4 weeks, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. At 7:30. For those of people who can't make it, they will get the recording. I am also introducing some other training that I feel like you all would need. So from the information I've been getting from you all so far, you all need email marketing information, particularly at least creating your first welcome sequence. We're going to spend some time on that. And then I want everyone to walk away with their content plan. So there are a couple videos that I'm going to upload and tutorials to show you how to use some of the software that I would recommend so that everybody can be on the same tech page. But live, I'm going live every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I really want you all to introduce yourselves on the community page so that A, we can all get to know each other, but B, I'm also going to send out a survey because I need to know what your goals are so that when we walk away from this, you will either have a plan or have it completed. You have to tell us all what your goals are so we can hold each other accountable. Okay, including me. I'm going to share with y'all what I want to have done by the summer. But yes, so it is me live and it is me recorded along with some video training that we'll put in there. Hello, friend. Hey there, honey. DC, do you know anyone who's made a leap from bureaucracy? Personally, no. No. It's a hard one. And DC is a hard place because we're real government specific. And most of the corporations that are in DC feed the federal government in some kind of way. So, and DC is not the best place for creativity. So I haven't. I'm sure that people exist. I haven't met them yet, specifically from DC. You happy? Hey, friend, you happy to catch me? You're in Mexico. I love it. It's 7:30 a.m. Oh, friend, I'm so glad you joined on. I appreciate you, honey. I feel like you're on the right track. You're getting better at what you do. I love it, girl. You are truly a aura sign. What's an aura sign? I don't know what that means, but okay, I'll take that. All right, guys, you're here. You got me. If you have some questions about your business and that type of thing, please put it in the comments. I will answer your question. I feel like, okay, girl. Okay. Do you suggest building a strong? Okay, let's see that. Do you suggest building your brand strong before going abroad? Good question, Tracy. Let me think about that. Folks, if you're not going to move abroad, I'm still going to recommend you're going to build a brand, period. I look at it as you're creating like your retirement, to be honest with you. Whether you want to, be 100% a digital, I was like, what is that in the sky? There's like a plane. Sorry. Squirrel. What am I talking about? Jeez. Let me read the question again. Build your personal brand. Yes. I want you to look at it as retirement because, listen, there's going to come a point where you are going to be outpriced the market. We're going to be too old or too whatever or too this for a company to hire you because you have to be super their way in order to get hired. When you build your personal brand, people come to you because they want to be a part of your brand. They want to learn from you. They want to get the education. They want to do whatever it is. And building that personal brand, you have a better option to control how your life will look in the future. So again, when I say you're building from a year to 2 years, it's going to be worth it because then you incorporate this brand and then you could take advantage of all the various business aspects, your retirement, contributing, the maximum amount you can contribute as a business owner that you could not do as an employee. There's various aspects of business because as you know, at least as it relates to the United States supports businesses. They don't support W-2. They just don't. There are no tax advantages for W-2 employees. The tax advantages lie with business owners. So if you consider this building your own brand, you're building your own business and it happens to revolve around you, but it doesn't have to. You can make it revolve around something else. But I'm always going to say, if you build your personal brand, you can expand to whatever you want. And as much as sometimes we get caught up on, I want to create a digital product, even if you create this digital product, if don't nobody know you, who gonna buy it? Who gonna buy it? So what I'm going to push you to is please focus on creating a content that attracts the audience. Then you can put whatever product you need, but you're going to create the product, which is what I did with this bootcamp. You're creating the product based on what you are learning is the issue with the audience you're trying to serve. You need a way to communicate with that audience. Everything I've done over the past week to the past year, you are watching it in real time. Again, I'm not telling you to do something that I don't do. Okay, so create the content based on your industry, what you're passionate about, what you love. Get people's email address, be able to communicate back and forth with them to see what they need, and then you deliver a product. Or then you can look at the digital streams. But it starts with your audience. It starts with building your audience. Please start there. Don't sit and take a course on something else that you ain't build your audience yet. I mean, you can, but you're going to end up wasting a lot of time. Okay. So I hope that helps. Tracy, wonderful question. Once again, helpful, especially. Okay. So Once again, helpful, especially the corporate perspective after 30 years. Yes, honey. Kathy, listen. Corporate is going to train you in a certain way. And for my engineers, my IT people, your brain operates on a super like finite type of thing. So it will take a challenge to kind of get you out of that. And we're going to talk about that live tomorrow. But yes. Oh, an air sign. Yes. Okay. Thank you, honey. Okay. Let's talk to, I'm still planning to get into virtual administration, admin assistance, and need to be cautious as due to my job. Okay, I cannot really have a competing role. Okay, I also need to get permission to have a side hustle. Understood. Okay, so yeah, for those of you who are going to put yourselves out there and you have any type of contracts or anything that would forbid you of doing so, you can make an alias online. I mean, nobody's saying you got to use your real name. You don't have to. You can check out websites like Upwork, upwork.com. You can check out Fiverr, stuff like that. Now, excuse me, these websites are not going to be to like pay your bills. These websites can help you start to get some smaller contracts, and then you can learn how all this works. So when you are just starting a business for the first time, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. That's okay. We eliminate self-doubt. Mistakes okay, as long as you own up to it, saying, whatever, we keep it moving. Okay. So you're going to make a couple mistakes, a little bit. You're going to learn certain software. Your flow is going to be different. You are going to evolve. And you'll watch this, as this channel evolves, things are going to change. As you evolve, things are going to change. That's cool. So what I recommend is finding some of those websites to kind of help you learn it, just to get your feet wet, because the only schooling you'll have is experience. And those type of websites, you can end up getting a permanent client out of it. But at least you'll learn the ins and outs. I don't recommend that you stay there because those websites tend to not pay any good money. But if you're just starting off, to expect to get paid a ton of money when there's still a little bit of learning curve you'll have to adjust to, that's why, those websites can kind of work. So just check that out. So I hope that was helpful. Hey, V. Oh, shoot. That part, building retirement. Yes, Stephanie. Okay. My fear of doubt comes from not making the same money. Okay. This is a big one. Kathy, thank you for sharing this with us in the community. My fear and doubt come from not making the same money I've been making. I want to jump, but need multiple streams or contracts to sustain myself before retirement at 58. Kathy, your thing is a real thing. Okay. So here's the thing. When I made the transition, I came to Portugal and I cut my bills substantially, like a lot. Right. So my whole goal when I moved, I was like, listen, if you're going to live this whole life, work on branding you as the individual and opposed to, because with my digital marketing company, I market other businesses. And so the problem is, because my days are committed to, my company, rarely do I have the time to concentrate on my own brand. And so moving out of the country 2 years ago, I made that a commitment for me. I was like, okay, listen, this is what I'm going to do. So I don't have to put the marketing efforts to someone else. I can give it to me. So that required some adjustments. Okay. So in my case, I cut my bills substantially because I moved out of the country. Now, granted, I also had to do some big girl things at the beginning of 2021. I had to start my current clients. I had to start charging them in euros because I was charging them in the US because it was a US company and I was working in the US. Now that I moved to Europe, you lose a lot of money converting USD to euros. So I had to convert all my clients, and that gave me huge anxiety because I'm like, okay, what if they leave me? And I'm like, you know what? Be confident in what you do and know and keep it moving. And I had to make that adjustment. So what you're saying is a real thing. What I would say is kind of think about how you can start making some adjustments yourself. If you are tied to a big house or a fancy car, it's going to be hard. In DC, we got a lot of that. It's going to be a challenge because here's the thing. And we have this conversation every time I'm out and I'm talking with other expats. I feel like America has done a great job putting you in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? So if you even think about the way that a lot of our financial things are constructed and done, it's done by design, and it's done to keep people stuck. So if you look at our healthcare system, how is it in Europe don't have to pay for health insurance the way we do, or other countries in general, right? Let's not even go on health insurance. And then one bad health accident can bankrupt you, and then you've lost everything you've worked for, right? Okay, just health insurance. So even if vacation, like here, vacation, it is normal for people, regardless of their job, to get 20 days vacation. And then you put on top of that the holidays. So you get holidays and vacation, 30 days off, when we struggling in the US just to get 2 weeks. And that's like if you're like high up, right? So looking at even the education system, like a lot of countries, education is free, or it is nowhere near as astronomical as it is in the US. Now understand that student loan debt is the only debt that you cannot write, one of the only debts you cannot write off on bankruptcy. So if you have a third or fourth of your population that are told, go to college, you paying all this money, and now because banks are the business, you have to, third of the population has to pay back until they die. It's a good business model for the US, but it's a hard business model to keep as an individual to be able to live your life. So where was I going on that tangent? See, this way y'all shouldn't have me live. I get the multiple streams of income. Yes, you can create multiple streams of income a variety of ways. I talk about the online part, but of course, with real estate investments, trade, well, you don't have to trade, but you can, of course, invest in stocks and that type of things, and that will help. But ultimately, a lot of this stuff comes from getting rid of the stuff, and particularly for my US folks, get rid of the stuff. It's probably not even doing nothing for you. So once you get rid of it, you don't need a lot of money to survive. Like I had been in a situation where I lost everything, so I had to build up. And after losing everything, I realized I don't even need this stuff. So even when I started traveling, I didn't need stuff anymore. And that's a freeing place to be. It is super freeing to be there. So I hear you, Kathy. It's real. Great question. Building brand, going abroad. Absolutely. Sandra, there's somebody else you need to meet. Is her name Yvonne? She's getting the voiceover work too. And she came from, I think, the IT field for years. I think you guys would totally need to meet. Build a retirement. Yes, that's my plan. What I'm doing right now, early retirement. Yes, I love it. Okay, here we go. I know creating email lists is essential by creating a document for people to download, but struggle to come up with the document. I have a fashion channel, was thinking of a capsule closet guide. I love that, Serena. I love that. It could be a document, it could be a video, it could be whatever format you want it to be. So let me say that for anyone who's listening, watching, whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a written document. And you can go on canva.com and create it and make it beautiful. Capsule closet guide. I think it's brilliant because I remember when I first started traveling, with one bag, and I was like, how are people packing for a month in a bag? And then I learned about capsule. What did you call it? I didn't know what a capsule was. I know about capsule dressing. I didn't know about any of that. I don't know how to mix and match my clothes to make stuff cute. You know, people put accessories and change the whole outfit, and they did two things. I don't know how to do that. So I think that guide would be wonderful. I think it would be even better if you create a video to go with it, or either pictures to go with it to show how the outfit can change and what pieces they would need, and make it super specific. Like even if you wanted to do it for the retiree, or you know what I mean, or to be comfortable when you're traveling, or I don't know, just but I think it's a brilliant idea. I full-heartedly agree. So are you recording on now? Crystal clear. What are you recording on now? Oh, is it? Are you talking about my mic? It's big though, y'all. It's so big. This is the Blue Yeti. It's probably crystal clear because I'm so damn close to it, and I'm usually not that close to it. Do I like it? It works. It's heavy. it's also a very annoying microphone to travel with. This takes up a lot of space in my bag if I'm trying to do one carry bag. The sound is cool, but it's big. If I find a smaller one, I will get it. I just haven't had time to do the research. And if anyone knows a good microphone that's easy to travel, put it in the comments for your girl. Plan on leaving the US. Okay, I love it. And honestly, even if you've been working for 30 years, there's a lot of countries you can move to with your retirement that you ain't even at work for real no more. I know people, you could just pursue your passion. Let me tell you, when you can just work, like the level of energy I give y'all now and how happy I am and being able to come up here every day, is no way on earth I would be able to do that if I still lived in the United States of America. Real talk. Like, it's no way I would have been able to do that. No way. Even the level of happiness and energy I have, it was literally the best decision I've ever made in my life. And again, I'm not trying to push everybody to move abroad. You do what works for you. But listen, Francine, I miss talking to you, Francine. Guys, if you haven't seen my experiences moving abroad and seen Francine's interview, oh, love it. Okay, Tracy. Okay, this is Francine, and I'm absolutely interested in the boot camp. Never late. Okay, it's struggling my life together, even if Francine, where are you? Are you still in the U.S. right now? Looking to get my life together, even as I've taken steps to get out of the U.S. I'm out. Listen, oh, God, I can't wait to catch up with y'all. Ooh, hey, Francine. Yes, Sandra, you and Francine definitely got to connect. It is time for the next step. Let me see. Now it's time for the next step to be location independent, hence your boot camp. Love listening in. Francine, I'm so glad you were able to join us. I miss you. Good morning. I'm in the process of developing my business and I'm learning about branding. Okay, honey, tell me what your business is. Go ahead, throw the questions at me and I'll help you any way I can. Sandra, how are you? What are you up to? Okay, so y'all doing that. If you have specific questions, okay, because now we got people coming in the chat and I can't determine what's a question and what's not. So if you could put a Q by your question, then I will know. I have to learn that I am. You are the brand, Miss L. Davis. Yes, you were the brand, honey. U.S. is mean with holidays. Serena, girl, holiday. Listen, you can't get no month off. And so many people in the U.S. don't even use vacation time. That is accurate. That is accurate. Okay, I feel, hold on. Yes. I feel what you mean by wanting to jump, Kathy. Knowing what you want to do and where you want to be, but yeah, it needs the streams of income. I agree, guys. Also probably need to cut some expenses too, in addition to streams of income, but that's just what I'm thinking. Guys, if you want to join the boot camp, please, the link is in the description and we'll cut off registration. I think the countdown is on there because I can't figure it out right now because I'm all over the place. I can't chew, come and walk. I noticed when I was a teenager that America didn't add up. Yep, I've lost and regained too many times. And listen, stuff holds you back. One of the biggest questions people ask me about moving abroad is like, what do you do with your stuff? And let me tell you something. I cared about it. Yeah, my best friend not listening. All my stuff is at my best friend's house, right? I'm going to get it or get rid of it. You want to hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? You want to hold on to this stuff because it's your security blanket. Now, I don't even know what I have at her house. I'm sure it doesn't matter. Wherever you move, they have stores. Then the rooms are smaller or not or whatever. Like, I don't even know why I was so attached to that little bitty stuff that I left at her house. And she's just such a wonderful person that she hasn't talked to me about it yet, but I got to go get it. Okay. All right. Look at y'all just talking all up in here. I love it. What I'm going to do when I take the hiatus. Okay. Love the lives this weekend. I only watch them. Okay. Say, Cinnamon, I don't know what I'm going to do when you take a hiatus. Don't say that. Loving the lives this week, even though I only watch them. So I'll pop through. First of all, I'm probably not going to pop through while I'm in the States because it's just chaotic over there. I got to see all my family and my nephew graduated and everything. So it's going to be a lot. But once I come back to Portugal, girl, I'll be living my best life here. So I'm sure I'll come on and do live again. So don't worry. You'll see me again. Why do you say you'll never do this in the U.S.? Why do you say you could never do this in the U.S.? Okay. Got it. Good question. Why do you say you can never do this in the U.S.? What's so drastically different? Is it a lack of being in a consumer state? Yes. There's a lot of things that are different. So I told you I cut my expenses so I don't have to deal with as many clients. So that was a lot. So I was able to cut down to the clients I really, really love working with and that I really want to see their business grow. And then our energy was just good. You know how there's such a drastic difference from working because you have to versus working with people you just like, you know what I mean? So so for the clients I have now, we're in this really good space because I was able to eliminate the extra fat. So there's that. There is just the quality of life and balance that makes my mental health a lot better. I was just always running and moving and going and doing. And the things that give me energy are like my friends, my loved ones, and everybody was on the hamster wheel. So you would have to schedule time almost a month, 2 months, 6 months, in advance just to see people that you love and care about. So you are in this constant state of going and going. You can't recharge because you can't be with your people or enjoy nature or do the things that make you, happy. So no, I couldn't. It's drastically different for a variety of things. And then I'm drastically different than I was before I moved. When I moved, I knew something had to change, and I was willing to go as drastic as moving to a country and I didn't know much about. I was over it. Y'all know my story. I was over it. Francine's in Mexico, and I love Francine. Can you shoot me an email, please? Because I need to know about how you got into Mexico and what you were doing. Can you put a link to Francine's interview in the notes? Let me try to find that now. Oops. Yeah, I'll try putting in the notes. I'll try putting this if I remember. But if you go to my channel and go to Experiences Living Abroad, hers is titled It's Not Too Late at 58. And she talks about her lovely journey in China. And Francine is just great spirit, and she's just wonderful. Stephanie Perry, thank you, Francine. Yes, I'm here. Oh, from Stephanie. I love Stephanie. Okay, let's see. Clemens, should I convert my brick and mortar curriculum to an e-version curriculum online before I create my continuing? Stephanie, you're the one. Hey, Stephanie, girl, okay. Should I convert my brick and mortar curriculum to an e-version curriculum online course before I create? I don't know what the other part. I don't know what that is. Give me the rest of that in the comments, son. No need to leave it. Okay, so guys, if you have content. Okay, so what was the question? Should I convert my brick and mortar curriculum to e-version curriculum online course before I create my content? So Stephanie, remember we talked. I need you to create content because you have a type of situation where people don't even know that it's something they can do. So you need to create the content. So here's a couple things. The reason why, guys, I want you to create content before you build out is because the people that you attract may have other questions that may not have everything to do with what you think they want. What was that sentence? What I'm trying to say is sometimes you can go into your own headspace and think you know what the audience wants. And that's why I'm a huge advocate. Whenever I do something, I'm emailing y'all like, okay, what y'all need, what you need, because I can know based on my personal or professional experience what they need, and I can add that. But I also need to know what they feel like they need and what they want, so that I'm creating something that is catered to the audience. You follow what I'm saying? Because that way, you can potentially end up having two products. You can have the product that they're asking you for, and then the product that you know that they need. You know what I mean? So I want you to build, if you can do it simultaneously, if you can, but just be okay that once you start getting communication from your audience, you might change the curriculum a little bit, and be okay with that. But if you can do it simultaneously for me, build your content as you're creating your e-course for your course. If you can't do it simultaneously, I am going to say create the content first. Okay, hope that answers your question. What part of Mexico? Okay, all right. So y'all having your own conversations there. Does anybody have any questions for me? We gonna get Francine. Everybody want to talk to you. I might have to bring you back up on here. comment. In the U.S., they are pressed about grass. How much time and concern over plant that is not indigenous but is original? I don't even think I know what we're talking about there. Can you give 3 tips for branding? Good question. Nope, and nope. That is a corporate America. So here's the thing. I'm so glad you asked this question. Okay, so a lot of folks, particularly if you are coming from corporate America, you are going to think that it has to do with your website, your logo, and all this other stuff, right? When is the last time you said, I'm not going to work with this company because I don't like their logo? Never. Even this whole Driven Spice brand, that was an accident. Like if I knew that I was going to build this brand out like that, I definitely wouldn't have called it that. But now it's too late, okay? Your name is less important. Who you serve, the information you create, the content you create is going to be the most important thing. So for everybody, again, if you are watching me for the first time, I am going to tell you to determine who your audience is. Find out what your audience needs, create content for that audience. So even if you have a clothing store, you can say who is the person who would be buying your product? What do they look like? What do they dress like? What are some of the songs that they like? So like start thinking about your customer avatar, because that way when you're creating content, you're making sure to create content specifically for that group of people. And I know in the corporate world, it goes completely general. But in the online world, you have to go super specific. Oh, my nose looks so greasy. You got to go super specific so that, distracted. What was I talking about? Super specific, because that is how the algorithms, all of the online platforms that let people know that they need to come and look at your content, it has to be clear what your content is about. And if you're just starting off, if you go super general, and you don't have the keywords to make it clear to all of these spiders and bots that go through your content, they're not going to know what your site is about. And it's going to be harder for them to recommend people to your brand. Did that make sense at all? Okay, so the top 3 tips to branding, creating a personal brand. Tip number 1, find your audience. Determine what your audience needs. Tip number 2, create valuable, useful information for that audience. Tip number 3, find a way to continue to communicate with them. Because here's the thing, even if you look, for those of you who met me before, even in the Driven Spice brand, I didn't have a website. I still had a whole summit that I did. I use these free tools, YouTube, this. I put a email marketing link in my YouTube description initially. I took it out now, but that's what I initially used. Any email software provider that you use is going to give you the ability to have a link where you can send people there. And so I would do a call to action like I've been doing, guys. We've been doing this in real time. You have been a part of this. You've seen me go live for at least probably a week and a half. And there is always a call to action in the description. Even if I didn't have a website, even if I didn't have a logo or any of that, what you got from me was information. What you're getting from me is information. And for those individuals who want to transition to the online world, that's who my audience is. So I'm giving you content for my audience. If somebody wanted to learn how to create a brick and mortar store, you're not my audience. I wouldn't have content for that. You follow what I'm saying? So whatever industry you're in, you are going to create, we're going to create some content that is going to be your key. Now, when you put your content to these various distributions, whether it's social media, whether it's a blog, whether you're writing articles somewhere else, that is how you want to get people back to you, because you want to ask your questions. You want to communicate with your audience, see what they need first, and then you want to create product or sell product based on what they're saying they need. I hope that helps, love. I hope that wasn't so all over the place. It was like, what? Okay. All right. Where we at? Okay, I'm afraid to have content before I have the product. I'm afraid to have content before I have the product. What you afraid of, boo? Talk to me. Why are you afraid? Because initially, so I don't want you to think as soon as you create the content that the floodgates start coming in. Guys, the reason why I'm telling you guys to plant seeds, because it doesn't happen overnight. So it may take 3 months, 6 months, however, for your stuff to pick up. Okay. It may take a minute for it to pick up and for all the, online stuff to be like, hey, pay attention to her. So the longer you wait to push out and commit to doing that, the longer it's going to take you to build an audience. So at the very beginning, don't care about how you're going to monetize at that moment. Just concentrate on giving value. Just give value, give value, give value. Because when you give value, this increases your engagement. People are paying attention to you because they know what you're talking about. You're teaching them something, and that increases your engagement. When you increase your engagement, all the algorithms love that. And all the algorithms will start showing you to more people. Okay. So I get that you're afraid to create the content, but understand when you start creating the content and then initially nobody listening. Okay. And that's okay. I told y'all nobody listens in the beginning, but y'all got to commit with me and know that if you keep at it, it works. So I get it, but I'm going to tell you, you do it anyway. Let's see this. Okay. Good morning. I quit my job, sold my home in Oregon, and I'm driving me and my 4 cats to Cancun. And I love it. Opening a B&B from the beach and restaurant. Listen, I love it. Wait, I can't even see the end of your comment because it says continue. I love it. Like, I'm here for it. I want to hear your story too. I'm so here for it. Okay, guys, if you have questions, go ahead. Certainly a question. Okay, perfect. Okay. Just turned 50. Hey. And I've started a YouTube channel to empower women to be the best versions of themselves that they want to be. What kind of digital content do I create for those who want help? Very good question. Here's the thing. Understand best versions of themselves that they want to be is super ambiguous. Okay. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean? Tell me what that means, because here's the thing. If you were to give me that statement and I came to your website, I wouldn't really know what that meant. Like, are you going to help me like relax? Like, what are you going to help me like declutter my life? Like, what are you going to help me do? Be super clear in that message, and then I can tell you how to create some content. So put that in the comments below and give me some more information on that. Writing my email even as we speak. So happy to be here. Oh, I love it, Francine. Love your energy. I have made so many notes from this live. Oh, Serena, I love it. Thank you. We will be able to watch this again. Okay, well, absolutely, honey. This video gonna stay up here to oblivion. So you're absolutely welcome to watch this as much as you want. And again, guys, if you want to work with me personally for the next 4 weeks, or well, not just personally, it's gonna be a group of us. Don't forget to sign up for the bootcamp. We're starting next Tuesday, 7:30. We're going live. I am also adding some tech courses on email marketing software. I'm going to include the email marketing software I use, in addition to just like a welcome sequence you can use just to get started, so you can start to communicate back and forth with your audience. So yeah. Okay. I think we're good. Are we good? This is why I keep getting roadblocks for a podcast. I know people are going to listen out. Jump on in, Erica. I love that. This is why I keep getting roadblocks for a podcast. I know people are not going to listen out of the 2 million podcasts, so I might as well just jump in. I mean, not if you're going at it like that, Erica. Like, why? Just make it very clear why you are different. Podcasts, I'm going to be honest with you. I know a lot of people are doing them. Podcasts are a harder thing to monetize right now, unless you already have a name, because podcasts don't really run the same search engine-y way that a lot of other content does. So it's a little harder to find a newer audience. You gotta really take the time to build an audience, which is hard. Again, y'all know I'm biased to stuff that is search engine based, which is why I like YouTube, which is why I like Pinterest, which is why I like Quora and stuff like that. Because when you type in Google, the answers come up. If you type a question, which is usually why people go to Google, rarely is a podcast gonna come up. So you have to do a whole different level of marketing for a podcast than you do for anything else. So, and you can still use the search engine features and do a video podcast. There's a lot of people that are doing that. I guess it's not called a podcast. Video cast? I don't know what the I don't know. Nutrition, gardening. Okay. Okay, good. All right. So change your mind, change your life. How to physically change your mind through organic nutrition, gardening, and other thoughts by using Tony Robbins. Okay. I don't know about Tony Robbins and the rest of the people, but start if you want to change people through organic nutrition and gardening, start creating content on organic nutrition and gardening. Why is that important? How do people get started? Started there. That's a easier identifier, and it probably has really good search terms right now in regards to any type of content that's being looking on that. Focus on showing people the organic gardening, how they can do it themselves. Maybe how they can start a small garden in their house, gardens for small spaces, organic garden for small spaces. Start searching around for those types of keywords, and that'll help you get an audience. And then tell your personal story. Why is that so important to you? How can that change your mind? How can organic eating change your mind? Like, educate people. So yeah, the content, you got it. Just start that. Okay. I'm concerned with it. Okay, here we go. Thank you. I wasn't spending time on a logo, but I was concerned with it. Now I can focus on content. Yes. So real talk, if I just randomly changed my logo on Driven Spice, y'all wouldn't care. Let's be real. Y'all don't care. I could change the colors on the website. Don't nobody care. But this is the thing, is a lot of people will get stuck on that and stay on that and never deliver the greatness they have for the world because of that. And that will burn you out. Concentrate on a website, your logo, and all this stuff that don't necessarily turn into sales. If you you can totally make a sale and not have a logo. You can totally make a sale and not have a website. You could totally make a sale. So you want to concentrate on the things that can make you a sale. And then everything else you can change. Don't ever think you can't change the stuff that's going on. Okay. So love it. Okay. All right, guys. I hope that was good for you. Again, these recordings will be up for forever. Be sure to share it and like it so other people can see. I know Sandra always being my hype woman. She told me to tell the people to share it and like it. So do that so more people can get the information and just feel like they are unstuck. So what was I going to tell y'all? Sign up for the bootcamp. I'm going to be here live tomorrow. I'll be live until Wednesday because then I have to get my life together and get ready to fly to the States. So I'll be live here tomorrow. Tomorrow we're talking about the corporate to digital nomad shift, because from your emails, I'm feeling like that may be where you're stuck a little bit. I know, y'all. Listen, there you go, Sandra, 42 watching. Where my likes at now? So so tomorrow we're going to talk about the corporate transition that you may have to take from the digital nomad, from corporate to digital nomad, and just getting super specific in that so that we can get you right. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. For those of you who can join me live. Are we doing it at the same time? I'm going to brunch tomorrow. So we're going to be a little bit late. We're going to be an hour later tomorrow because we're doing brunch with the girls. And so I may have mimosas. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. I appreciate you all. Till next time.